Well, I hope someone picked up that phone.
They did.
Because I fucking called it!
You did. Let's do the normal introduction.
Right, anyway.
Tonight on NXT TakeOver Phoenix, the review. We have the War Raiders versus the Undisputed Era. Johnny Gargano takes on Rico Chet.
Matt Riddle takes on
Cassius Bruno. And who else? Yeah, Shayna Baszler takes on Bianca Belair. And for the main event, we have Aleister Black taking on Tomato Choppers. Who wins? Who loses? Let's get in to the nitty-gritty.
Hello, folks!
So, as you were saying before we went on the air,
Yes,
somebody should pick up that phone.
because I called it, yes.
You did.
That's gonna be in the video.
Okay. Right, but here we go. So, yeah, an NXT TakeOver Phoenix review. I do want to point out one thing, though. People were going off on Sam Roberts. People were going off on Sam Roberts because he seemed to be going off on Bianca. I have a feeling you were saying this. He probably was told to say that stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't like Bianca. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But unless it comes out that he went off script and was just being a full-on dick, let's back off on that. Let's hurl it at the people that were producing him. And Kyrie won. Hey, baby, are you an angel? Because I'm allergic to feathers. Kyrie won multiple NXT awards.
Yes! Please give her all of the awards. She is precious and must be protected and given all of the things.
She is. That was really good. She would look like she was about to cry, and that was great. You can tell wrestling means a lot to her. Nigel, Morrow, and Percy on commentary, and NXT tag titles kick off the War Raiders versus Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick
Very
Strong.
weird entrance for the War Raiders. It was too much build, if you would. But
Yeah,
entrances aren't what the matches are made of.
that's true.
And the match was in itself pretty damn good.
There were a few times maybe Hansen could have dived a little less.
Maybe.
I mean, ouch. There were some
You
good...
dive so much, his hair's starting to fall out.
Oh, good. Starting to get like Victor from the Ascension.
E Victor. Yeah.
I did like how the one spot I didn't like though, where Rowe just picked up and threw Hansen off the apron.
Hold on, we gotta wait.
That was my problem with it.
That's a problem with too many rehearsed spots.
And also the fact that he's picking up a big lad, somebody bigger than him, and doing that. There were good exchanges, don't get me wrong, where the War Raiders were just hurling the Undisputed Era at each other.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. The crowd got into it more as it went along.
Yeah.
O'Reilly and Strong are two of the best workers WWE has. Hell, they're two of the best workers in the world.
Yeah.
I think Strong's much better as a heel.
It was the stronger performance. I was surprised that throughout this match, Bobby Fish did not interfere.
Yeah, because didn't he actually start to come out for their entrance?
Yeah.
I think he did.
But he stayed away. They lost clean.
Yeah. It was something else. New champions. Yeah, the War Raiders won.
Yes, and I'm okay with that. I do think the Undisputed Era may end up getting called up because rumor has it that the tag teams are going to be given more focus in 2019, which isn't a whole lot to ask for, given that they're barely given attention nowadays.
Especially on Raw.
Yeah.
They're giving more attention on SmackDown, to be fair, even if it's the same teams.
Yeah, like that one time they didn't win in Survivor Series, because apparently it counted for nothing.
Well, the pre-show doesn't count at all. Oh, boy.
Man, I can't wait for tomorrow!
Yeah. 2 matches on the pre-show shouldn't be, but to be fair, we'll get to that later.
Yes.
New champions, though, new tag champions. Yeah, we could see the Undisputed Era called up sooner. Who knows? We get Tony Storm and Pete Dunne in the crowd. Tony is great. We got to see both of them live.
Yes.
Did not get to meet Pete
in the same event.
At the same event. I got to meet Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, did not fanboy over that. Sure. Moving on from that.
I don't believe you.
I know you don't because you saw me. Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno.
It was a match. It was good. It wasn't anything to write home about. Cassius Ohno is getting up there in years and weight and physical activity. If he's 6'5" and 270 pounds, that means a lot of the bulk that's on him right now is not muscle, it is fat.
And he moves well, but it's starting to wear on him, you can tell.
I know what it's like to weigh more than 270 pounds.
Yes.
I am no longer 270 pounds.
And that's not me mocking, seriously.
I know.
I'm happy for my best friend here. There was foot biting during this.
Or as our good friend Vanderbeek said, tofu.
There was a good moonsault by Cassius Ohno. The bro mission didn't work, but there was a tap out by Strikes.
But don't worry, bro, Tato Chip. Yes. Some elbow strikes to the back of the head and this fucking pump strikes.
Yeah, I mean, Riddle is really good. It's not that Ohno isn't. This match was certainly better than the one they had before.
Yeah.
But there was no need for this feud, in my opinion, to be on 2 takeovers. I just don't think so. I know they need another match, but at this point, you could have put a women's match or something on here.
Yeah.
It was what it was. Riddle is certainly over. That theme is terrible, and everybody got fucking high as fuck from the second hand.
Bro.
Bro. Second bro high.
Brosidon, Lord of the Bros, King of the Broshin.
Teddy Roosevelt. Hey, bro. Anyway, the When Worlds Collide tournament is going to be up there, not to be confused with the AAA event that Eddie Guerrero.
This is what it's like when worlds collide.
I forgot all about that band. But yeah, that When Worlds Collide, not the AAA event where Eddie Guerrero and Art Barr teamed up. Next Saturday at 5 p.m. We might watch that, might not. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Match of the night easily. North American title, Ricochet versus Johnny Gargano. I'm gonna let you take away on this.
This was a fantastic match, but it had a lot of rehearsed spots. They pulled Ricochet's spot where that Ospreay later copied the spot where Hurricane run off the top turnbuckle and he lands right on his feet. Kind of buckled a little bit on that one, but I think that's because he's landed on his feet so goddamn much during this match before that happened.
And in his career.
Sure. There are a lot of spots where you're like, how?
I don't think Ricochet's human.
He is Rico Chet.
Yes, his new girlfriend keeps him limber, eh, man?
He's not human, he is Trevor Man.
That is just so funny that that's his name.
Yes.
I don't know why that's so funny. But
better, I don't know. I like Rico Chet better.
Rico Chet, but there were some great Mamma Mia chants. That's really nice. Really good stuff from the crowd.
Overall, I like this match. It was great. I'd say it's match of the night.
Easily match of the night. The concrete spot where, Gargano pulled the thing back and ouch. Concrete doesn't give.
I've fallen on concrete. I haven't been slammed on concrete, but I've fallen on it. It hurts like a motherfucker.
It does. I've fallen on it, like actually when I was doing stuff for drama in high school. Remember how the stage was concrete? Yeah, that hurt. That hurt. A lot. But yeah, you end up with Johnny Gargano getting the win. Okay, that's good.
Johnny Gargano is now the NXT North American title champion.
He is. And he did call every single one of these correct.
We are 5-3.
Yeah, I'm actually amazed I got even 3. The only 3 I got right were the ones that we agreed on. I had 2 champions. I had 1 champion retaining, 1 championship changing hands, and I was wrong.
I felt it was the right time for War Raiders to take the belts.
Well, so did I. I mean, I had that too.
Yeah. I figured, Shayna Baszler is going to beat Bianca.
Which we're going to get to right now.
Yes.
Because Sweet Crisis was not good. No.
It was not bad, but it wasn't to the standard of a TakeOver match.
This is for no lack of trying on Bianca's part. To be fair, Bianca has been kept... And I was talking to Valea at Valea WWE on Twitter, so you can check out her review. She can have a review of this later. After you check out our review, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
But
you're already checking out our review. You might as well stay tuned.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Stay tuned for the rest of it. Stay tuned. Come for the wrestling analysis. Stay for the jokes. Here's my issue with this. Now, Bianca has worked... she worked a good match with Nikki Cross. She's worked other matches. That 4-way match where she won to become the #1 contender was pretty good, but there were 3 other women in there. She is still a project. She's, what, 23?
Yeah.
22, 23?
She's got a lot of building she can do. I mean, if this is her at 23 or 24, what is she going to be in 2 years?
Yeah, what's she going to be in another year? I mean, even. But yeah, 2 years, 3 years. The thing is
she might be main roster ready by a year.
Mark Henry was right to bring her in. I do say this is probably the worst match I'd seen her in. Yeah. Shayna is a really, really good worker. You're not going to get a lot of flash with Shayna, though, because she is a submission and ground worker.
And focusing on high tension spots rather than high flying spots or high impact spots is the best thing for Shayna. The problem is that crowds, especially NXT crowds, they're not submission fans.
They might be submissive.
Drew Gulak, for instance, may be the most technically impressive wrestler on 205 Live, but at the same time, you don't get invested into Drew Gulak, you get invested into who his opponent is.
He does do some good drama when he tries when he doesn't win, when he's not winning.
He's great at promos though too, and that's the thing.
He is, and he tries going up to the top where he's like, no, I don't want to go up to the top, and he tries. See, that's some good drama, and he can get people in based on his character work. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
The reason
Shayna's not someone you can pull comedy with.
Except in her promos. Look, Shayna is a really good worker, and Shayna means what she says with a lot of conviction. I just can't take her seriously when she does promos.
But overall, it was an okay match. And we had a very inconsequential interference by Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke. I mean, they did all of God knows what, and it didn't really impact the overall match.
I'm going to take you through this really quickly because I'm just going to briefly rant here, and then you can talk about the main event. But it's just, they are bad. They are explosively bad. Now, I know they've been training. They haven't been doing this that long.
We've only seen them in all of 2 matches.
I know, but...
One match, actually. I think they've only had 1 match.
1 match, at least, on TV. And Marina apparently is working with a busted face or something. Yeah, hopefully she's okay.
With Nia.
Yeah, or she's a Zorro fan, as you said.
Yeah.
But how do you fuck up getting in the ring and rolling in the ring like that? That just... I don't think they're ready for these kind of big moments. And I know that they weren't in the match, they were just doing a run-in. But they're not ready. This isn't a great idea. You can't hotshot people into stuff like this and make it work. It just wasn't... This wasn't good. This... I don't know. I
didn't view it as that impactful. That negative either. But mostly it's because I haven't seen enough of them to be able to determine what their skill level is now. That interference, yeah, they had to do a run-in, but how many times have wrestlers fucked up a run-in before?
Not that many. Before, it's been a bit. I mean, I gotta say, they didn't really do all that good in the Evolution run-in either. And I mean, to be fair, that was the first time you'd really seen them on TV. Yeah. Or on the network, but
their effects on a match have been kept to a minimum for a reason. It is a sink or swim thing too with WWE. Is that you got to throw them in there once in a while to see how they can react in a crowd. They may have rehearsed that spot hundreds of times. Sometimes that one time you fuck up is the one time you're in front of a crowd.
And look, I mean, I'm not gonna say I can get out there and do this stuff. I certainly can't, but I did not enjoy this. This was really, it was not a good showcase for Shayna. That 450, Shayna may have moved out of the way too soon.
Yeah.
And this is not blame on anybody, but Bianca did the spot anyway, and then they went into the clutch, and Shayna looked strong breaking out of it a couple times. She did. But this was not a good match.
Yeah. Also, Bianca really needs to trim that braid up a little bit. Not a lot. You don't need to do it a lot. But if you have to hold that braid while you're running around because you were literally tripping on it a moment before, gotta trim it up just a little bit so you don't hurt yourself. Because I don't want you to hurt yourself.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm worried we're gonna have like a bad incident, like just her hair like being ripped out. We don't want that.
Yeah.
But now, because, I'm sorry, but Jessamine and Marina need, like, all the fucking training in the world.
I'd have to see more than 1 match.
Maybe I'm being too harsh, but it just, you got a chance on this big stage. Aleister Black versus...
Tomato Chompers.
That's right, for the NXT title. I'm going to let you take this one away.
Okay. I will go away now. Tommaso Ciampa and Aleister Black had a very, very good match. There were a lot of breakouts from each other's finishers. Ciampa played it smart by working the leg of Black throughout the entire match to keep him from being able to deliver the Black Mass with any measure of accuracy or power. To which Black should have just switched to the other leg, because you can still kick with a hurt knee. But that's just me.
I mean, yeah.
There was a point where Black had broke out of like 3 attempts by Ciampa's for trying to hit his finisher.
Yeah.
The fairy tale ending.
That's what it's called. I already forgot what the name was.
But overall, this was a pretty well worked match. The crowd, I think, were worn out by the end of it.
I mean, to be fair, Black looked like he, not necessarily unbeatable, but like it took everything Ciampa had to beat him.
Yes.
And Ciampa did beat him. There was a second concrete spot. I mean, of the night, you don't need to do that shit twice a night. You're not ECW.
Yeah.
But the fairy tale ending finally, multiple ones, 1, 2, 3. Ciampa wins.
Yes. And as he was walking away, I called a lot of this event, sometimes right before they even happened. Because, they didn't, go to Black and let the pay-per-view in. They had him go up the ramp. And John, you were thinking Gargano was going to come out and hit him. I go, no, he's going to hoist up his title. And that is exactly what they did. So NXT, hire me. I can see into the future.
You can. And also, you probably could write some stuff there. You could book the women better, I would think.
I could book a lot of people better.
You could.
But then again, that would be on the main roster. NXT, they've got some good people there.
They do. In spite of the fact Terry Taylor's there. I think he's still there. But...
well, sometimes you just need a big fucking cock in the room to remind people how bad things can be.
You're not wrong. He never lived that gimmick down. Terry Taylor, by the way...
hey, he's like the cock of the walk!
Terry Taylor...
What, you mean like being a rooster?
In one of my favorite NWA matches from Jim Crockett era against Nikita Koloff at Starrcade 87. Yes, those two were in one of my favorite NWA Jim Crockett era matches. B-.
B+. My reasoning for it... the women's match was the only thing that really drug it down. I enjoyed the tag team match. I enjoyed Gargano versus Rico Chet. I enjoyed Tommaso Ciampa versus Aleister Black. I did enjoy the women's match, but I didn't feel it was up to the caliber of an NXT TakeOver match. And I think it's just mostly because Shayna Baszler, as great as a submission wrestler as she is, she's just not interesting to watch.
Though she is good in the ring, here's the reason for my grade. I like the tag title match. Even if it wasn't quite up to the caliber of some of the other ones, especially the Undisputed Era has done. Yeah. And I mean, that's not fault of the War Bears. Sometimes things click, things don't. Riddle and Ono shouldn't even been on TakeOver. Should have had the women. It should have had a women's tag team or something like that. Ricochet and Gargano's match of the night. Black versus Ciampa was well worked, but almost felt unnecessary.
Yeah.
And the women's match, I'm sorry, I just didn't like. And it was nothing against either of the two women. It's like Jasmine and Marina screwing things up.
I'd have to disagree with you on the Riddle and Ono match, only because Riddle needs to have a big stage to build himself up on, because WWE is expecting big things of Matt Riddle. And facing off against Cassius Ono on TakeOver in an actual match this time is a good idea. Have people see his weaknesses so that they know what to look out for in his further matches. View his strengths, things like that. This was an enhancement match, essentially.
Right, and I mean, I totally get where you're coming from, but it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm just comparing this to other TakeOvers, especially last year's TakeOver at this time, but that's what we have to say. As far as grades...
I have a great and mighty poll! It's right up here, you can grade NXT TakeOver with us. If you'd like, you can also hit like button if you liked our review, or hit dislike if you didn't like our review.
And leave some comments.
Yeah.
Sprinkle the comments on in.
Bam!
And yeah.
Good old Emerald Lagasse.
Yeah, God, she's right. We will be back with the Royal Rumble review tomorrow, but yeah, it's been Real Honesty with Jonn, Ritland, and...
the Terminator.
We'll be back tomorrow.
And you have a great night.